gonna give it a few. And then, if nobody comes, then I'll just say my piece and get out. As I know it's random and early, but whatever. I I just want to say that before I relate, before I go too much into it, um, that you have been lied to. Um, or not as much lied to as much as I've been putting a facade on. If that makes sense. Like more than usual. And I know that a lot of people have moved on from me and my antics, which I get it. That I do the same old shtick over and over and over again. I get it. I understand. But if you've been gauging the community tab posts and my demeanor through these videos and even the ones I just made, even the ones that aren't even out yet, um, you know there's a tonal shift. A big tonal shift. So I think I have been fighting with myself for far too long. And I know that if I keep putting this off, that all it's going to do is consume me. So I'm just going to get it over with. Use the time I have right now and go from there. So this may be the biggest session of self-pity that I've ever given you. But when you hear the circumstances, you'll understand. You know, and I'm not. Before I tell you the inner workings of this, um, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for financial restitution. I'm not asking for anything. The only thing the only slight desire I have is understanding. Just let me say my piece, and you can either care or not care. You know, we all live in this world. We all live in our own worlds where we have our own struggles and battles. You don't have to fight my battles for me. I appreciate the help. I always do. That's why, even after all these years, I haven't given up. Even though the multiple times I said I have wanted to give up, I haven't. Whether I'm in denial or I'm truly am that passionate. But just know that this is my struggle and my family's struggle, and that's really about it. You can choose to make it yours if you want to, but I recommend not. For your own for your own mental sake. So, let's purge this demon while we can, and I can start taking steps forward. Because the last thing I want to do is stand still. Because if I do, it's gonna destroy me. So, as you know, I never lived alone in these videos, in the places I've been. I always had my mom and my dad, and in the last few years, my grandma, in these places around me. And there are moments wherein they would appear. And particularly a figure that fans of mine appreciated was my mother. You guys even gave her a nickname, Mommy Vegas. Has that name been uttered in a while? No. But it was a thing. Even into this channel's life. As the years went on, their appearances became less frequent. Mostly because I changed my approach. I was less hyperactive. And I gave them the respect they wanted. Or rather, I tried. I would still get on their nerves occasionally, but definitely not lessened over time. A few years ago, I don't think I was ever given the day, but I want to say late 2020, early 2021, around when we made the move to here, was when she was diagnosed with liposarcoma. And what that is a rare type of cancer that develops in fatty tissue. And it's also a malignant cancer. So it spreads. It doesn't just stick to one place and destroy it. It moves. We have genuinely no idea when it could have developed in her. But possibly to a fault, she fought through it with everything she got. And she didn't seem to dwell on it that much until her body literally couldn't take it and she had to go to the hospital and, had surgeries and the like. Initially she thought it was other things. She thought it was like a hernia or like other conditions, but that's what it wound up being. October of 2022, or yes, throughout 2022 mostly. Um, she had to go out to North Carolina uh, to go to a special hospital, and they they tried chemotherapy, and she really didn't take that well. And by the time October rolled around, my brother had his wedding. That was the thing I mentioned in one community tab post that I didn't want to delve into. Um, she had lost her hair, as chemo patients do, and we basically had to dress her up for that. She had wigs for the wedding. That wedding day, she had a wig she really didn't like, but my dad liked it, and that's the reason she stuck with it. Can you tell I'm stalling? Jump to February of this year. Um, her health was always like wibble wobbling. She did relatively fine until the chemo started. She had two sessions of it, and she went to the doctors a lot, and it just took a toll on her. And eventually, we started taking more of a distance. But February is when it took a nosedive. And at that point, my dad, my brother, and I decided to check on her and call the doctors about her condition, and they placed her under at-home hospice care. No, if you're younger and you assume that that word just means, oh, you just sent her to the hospital, right? How naive you are. Bless your innocence. What it means is they give you medications and to basically try to make the person as comfortable as possible in their last moments. So that had been going on for the last few months. And you really can tell that it changed me. You could tell that I was trying to reserve myself, that my attitude had been different. My work ethic shot. And keep in mind that this was during my last few months at school, at college. I get my bachelor's in a few weeks. And I work a garbage job. So, with all four of these things going on at once, it was slowly breaking me. And that's why I spoke in a much more ominous nature. But yesterday, when I was at work, I thought it would just be the new normal that I had put myself in. Little did I know that when I would punch out and in the car, my brother called me. And I thought it was just the usual update. I thought he was jumping the gun a little. But hey, my brother uh, has been pretty dang good about this recently. He put in his best effort. When I got home, I put my wallet and my keys on my nightstand and noticed the bathroom light was on and a nurse standing there. And my dad came up to me and delivered the news. Fuck you, phone. So, at 60 years old, my mom lost her battle with cancer. And she's gone. There's no way for me to over embellish. There's no way I should. It would be wrong of me to try to over embellish it, but it'd be equally as wrong for me to try to sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened. Ultimately, it was the best thing that could happen because in her last few months she was suffering. And everyone could tell. Everybody who saw her could tell. So really, it's the best thing that could have happened. She had lived a decently long life, done so much good, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without her. Now, did I show her any of that love while she was around? Debatably. But my dad and I and my brothers, my aunt, pretty much my whole family are at the same page. We're at the same stage. Um, I could not go to work today. I obviously could have, but and I plan to go tomorrow, but I couldn't do it today. And I knew that if I was going to do that, then I had to do this. Because all I could do last night was yell at myself to just get on the stream, and I didn't do it. And I think that was for the best. Because I think my emotions would have overtaken me then. Now that I'm having some more time to reflect, I feel much more confident in myself to take the news I got and throw it in there, throw it into here, and now it's out there. I can't undo it. I told them at work. I can't undo it there. And that's what actions do. You take an action and it has consequences. So, what does this mean for me? We will be planning a celebration of life party for her. I don't know if we're gonna have it's not gonna be a super formal funeral. Um, I do not expect any of you to arrive there, and personally, I don't want you to be there because you would see me blubbering and crying like a little baby. Um, but I don't know. You could possibly see an angle of me that I had never had in my life, or at least not in my career. Yeah, I. That's not true. I mean, it could be. As long as it's attached to Google, it'll be around forever. Maybe. No one Google. That's actually the opposite. It's the exact opposite. No one Google will probably try to do anything to get rid of this. They already have enough money. Yeah. Yesterday was a turbulent day. But at the end of it, I knew in my heart that I can make it. My dad can make it. The rest of my family's gonna make it. I mean, it was good for me that I had told them the whole process of this beforehand, because if I had dropped it on them out of the blue, they might have not believed me, but because it had been a thing going around for a bit, like my coworkers knew, my management knew. So, and I've been with the company for a few years. So, um they know I mean things when I say them. They they actually trust me. As much as I don't want to believe they trust me, I think they trust me. And then again, it's rather inconsistent. So, those are the actions we're going to take. Um, my family will be out here in a few weeks to see me graduate, which will be a massive tonal shift, which is something I need. Um, it is a shame that this happened now. If this would have happened just 1 month later, she wouldn't have been able to see it, but she would have at least been around to know that I did it. But she'll be seeing me from beyond. So that'll work. I'm glad that I am still doing things now. That if I was out of school and trying to transition to new work, I don't know how well. I don't think I'd be able to take this as well because this is tough information to process, and it's never easy. But when you have these rooted formulas in your life, you can latch onto them and use them to give you extra strength. I almost didn't tell anyone at work and just wanted to power through it, but I knew in my heart that wasn't right. Which is why I took that action. The same thing might happen tomorrow, but probably not. And school, I gotta finish it. I've got to fucking finish it. I I have to. The only way. I came too far for college to not to throw it all away at the very end. So I know I gotta do that. And it's because I didn't talk about it that much. It's not. It's not something I wanted to dwell on. As much as it doesn't seem like I do in these videos and these streams, they're an effort for me to try to take my energy and instead of jamming it into me, to put it somewhere else. And for almost 6 years, 7 years, or 7. Alright, take care, man. 6, 7 years I've been doing the content, and I don't know where I'd be without it. So, even though I've tried to quit so many times, I would always come back because it let me not harbor animosity towards the things I did in my life and rather just put my energy towards a better place. And that is why I'm not stopping. Kind of. I have all of the Credit Quest videos already filmed. All of them. The rest of Tekken and the rest of JoJo's already done. So I'll still upload them in the same schedule that I have been. Kind of. I also have to change that. Weirdly enough, I finished filming JoJo one day before my mom's passing. So, had she had been stronger, she might have popped into one of those. And that'd have been her last moment on here, but no. That didn't happen. So, I'm not going to be recording anything or streaming anything. I shouldn't say no. I don't. I both want to stream, but I also know that I shouldn't. I need to exercise a little bit of self-control. Really, my main goal right now is just get college done. Get that done. But I will still drop the uploads for the Tekken and JoJo's videos just so that they don't sit on my computer collecting dust. And so that they're on the internet before I inevitably delete all of it. I may still work on a different video in the background, just chip away at it. But most of I'm just going to be working on school. That's really all I'm going to be doing. I mean, I almost started crying at work earlier today before I decided to leave. Before I decided to tell my management and leave. So, take that for what you will. I may seem strong, but that's only because I'm putting up a front. From the day I started, I was putting up a front. But now that it's happened, and now that I've gotten the information out there, and my emotions haven't drowned me completely, I believe that this is the biggest blessing in disguise. And I realize the scene I'm doing for my acting class had the perfect advice in its script. Take negative energy and turn it into positive energy. And that's exactly what the hell I've been doing. Every time I thought I was wrong for doing this, I wasn't wrong. which is why I won't give up. So, once I graduate college, at that point, I'll be far stronger than I ever have been before. And you'll see that. I will still be posting those videos. I may wind up editing one more. But I am gonna definitely slow my roll in the coming weeks. Definitely. But when I graduate, which will be a little less than a month later, I will be back. And I will be back with a vengeance. And that's a terrible phrase to use. I'll be back with more motivation than ever before. That's a better phrase. So, I'm going to take off. Probably sometime like shortly after I graduate, I'll be doing another update style video, kind of like this, although not nearly as fucking melancholy. But yeah. For now, this will be it. Life carries on. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, I'm still here. She had her life. I'm going to have my life. And she'll always be there to watch me. And she'll be there to watch you too.